There's been a lot of discussion about the current reaction meta that's been going around in the content creator space, and I personally have my own feelings on the subject, but instead of expounding on what I think should be done about it, I'll just go ahead and make my own reaction video and just practice what I would be preaching. This video is Copper Knife, official as seen on TV commercial from, official as seen on TV 1.
Watch this! Copper Knife chops chunks out of this 2x4 and still stays sharp enough to cut.
Okay, so I've just watched through it in full so that I could kind of digest the video, and I got a lot to say. Firstly, I want to say this is the worst way to sell a knife ever. Because as someone who likes to cook and has a couple of knives of his own, just some basic kitchen knives, it's nothing fancy, all of this can be achieved by just buying a sharpener. Like a whetstone, or like one of those things with the little wedge. Hold on, let me go through. There are some points that I want to bring up.
Simple tasks in the kitchen.
Also, this is, the thing about these as seen on TV commercials, right, is they're always showing, oh no, I can't do a thing, but the person isn't even trying. You're not even sliding it back and forth. Usually when you use a knife, you're supposed to slice, not just stab in. This isn't a butcher's knife. Like, what did you expect? Do you pick up a serrated knife and just like stab it down with sheer force and expect it to cut? No. Like, I know they're trying to make a point here, but it's so silly how much incompetence they forcefully display in order to show off their product and make it seem like it's got value. Just slice it. Just do a sawing motion.
To foods like cheese.
Again, why would this is just what happens with cheese. You gotta saw the knife through the cheese. Get a knife rack or a what is it called? A block. Get a knife block. Just anything. You're gonna thank yourself. A place that you can safely store your knives without having to sift through them, you know, and potentially cut yourself.
Introducing Copper Knife.
Like, the fact that it's made out of copper and this special alloy has nothing to do with how sharp it is. Like, the material, especially, oh man, this phrase right here.
Amazing copper.
Stays sharp forever. I highly doubt that. Forever is a long time. I doubt it's even going to stay sharp for a whole year, especially being used to cut the things that they tout it to be able to cut. I think this commercial is lying to me. Like, radical idea, I know, but I'm pretty sure this commercial's lying, and I don't see any sort of disclaimer like an asterisk at the bottom of the video or anything. Language is being used for exaggeration or something like that. No, they say forever.
Cutting your food prep time in half.
Like, yes, that is pretty impressive. You can just throw a tomato on it. That's pretty impressive. Again, though, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's made of copper. It's just sharp. It's just really sharp. You could do this with a wooden knife if you sharpened it enough, you know? I've seen some footage of people like sanding a wooden knife down really, really finely with a bunch of different types of sandpaper grit. And you could do this with most hard materials. Granted, the wood knife is probably not going to last very long, and it's probably going to get icky and gross and maybe mold over time. But this is a matter of sharpness, and sharpness has nothing to do with material.
Watch. Copper Knife easily cuts through the tough skin of this pineapple. Like a hot...
Is this impressive? Yes. Is this impressive relative to the fact that it's made of copper? No. Any sharp knife can do this.
This delicate tomato...
Like, of course, look at them. Look at what they're doing with the knife, right? They're pushing the knife forward so that the sawing motion cuts through the fruit. As you should. That's what you're supposed to do with a knife, except for certain materials. Like, you can probably do it pretty well with, you know, pretty easily with firm fruits like the pineapple.
Having to apply pressure.
Like, that's pretty easy to do with a pineapple, but with something like a tomato, of course you're going to need to do some sawing motion. Look at that. They saw the tomato.
Paper thin.
Yeah, look at them cutting the mushrooms. They're sawing the mushroom rather than in the earlier place where they're just cutting straight and not sawing at all.
Simple, crush your food, making simple tasks in the kitchen harder than they need to be.
Why don't you saw it? I know, okay, I know they're trying to show the impressiveness of the sharpness of this knife or whatever by chopping wood, but this just hurts me as someone who cooks often.
Special non-stick
They keep saying that, stay sharp forever. There's no way. There's absolutely no... it's not even a highly doubt. Like, I know for a fact that it's not going to stay sharp forever. There's not a material on Earth that doesn't degrade over time. And they're not, again, like I said, they're not putting any sort of disclaimer in the video of like, this is simply exaggeration or hyperbole. They're claiming it can stay sharp forever. What if I take another copper knife and cut it through another copper knife? Is it like the whole like unstoppable force meets immovable object? Am I going to cause a singularity?
The oval cut design reduces friction and sticking. The ergonomic...
Does it though? How? The oval cut design reduces friction and sticking. I guess. There is less material there to stick on stuff and less material to rub against the things that you're cutting. But let's say it's something that isn't so firm that it keeps its shape. This is just going to rub up against the material that you're cutting and then cause like lumps and bumps and, I don't know, tear it up some more, like bread. Like, let's say you're cutting a particularly soft loaf of bread and some of the white breading, you know, from the inside gets caught on this. You're going to tear that bread up because that bread, you could have a really sharp knife and do a pretty good job, but sometimes that white of the bread is going to get caught on stuff. This is just going to catch it and tear it off, and then you've got torn up bread. I really hate this knife.
Sticking. The ergonomic handle makes it easy to hold and easy to use.
I would hope so, as most knives are supposed to be. Unlike all those other knives that aren't easy to hold.
Through potatoes, paper thin.
Okay, but that's not the knife doing that, right? Paper thin. You're choosing to cut them paper thin. I guess what they're trying to say is that it's so sharp that it's capable of cutting paper thin. That's probably what they're saying. All right, I take it back. This product is perfect.
Look again. Copper.
Oh, this just hurts me. Again, I know they're trying to make a point, but I just seeing a knife being used in this way, a kitchen knife, just makes me sad. I would never do this with any of my knives. I use that shit to cut important things, you know, like chicken and beef.
It's sharp forever, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Sharp forever, guaranteed. I highly doubt that. Yeah, this is one of the worst commercials I've ever seen advertising a knife. This sounds dumb. Just buy a sharpener. Buy a whetstone. Don't buy the copper knife. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll only make like a couple of more of these just to make a point. But I hope you enjoyed watching it, and you have a wonderful day.